everybody. Welcome back to the Thunder and Lightning podcast. I was trying to remember the number, but I lost it.
Thunder.
I'm Thunder.
Oh. Was it like 151 or something?
No, we're still in the mid-40s.
And I'm Lightning.
Yes. Welcome on in to the. Oh, I do need to hold on. Let me edit this real quick. Should have done this up before.
Oh yeah.
Intro, but it doesn't matter. You know what? While I do this, Chris, why don't you tell us about your week?
Sure. Man, so I'm wrapping up vacation. I start school next Wednesday. The chair sounded so interested in what I had to say. Did you hear that squeak?
It was like
oh.
It was like yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wrapping up school next week. Oh, no shit. That's my chair.
So I've been painting some D&D figures. I've been sending them to you. Hopefully, we'll have some. There's a lot going on behind the scenes,
but nothing we can talk about quite yet.
Nothing we can talk about quite yet. We actually have to talk to Drizzle and Tsunami about some stuff soon.
You're in big trouble, mister.
Yeah, no, quite the opposite. But it's been really exciting.
Spoiler alert: we hate Night in the Woods.
We've been taking every VOD and just deleting it immediately. I started painting my
what?
He started painting his first mini last night. Mason, what was it? How did it go? Sorry, I got so excited.
No, I thought my computer exploded or something. I was like, "What's happening?"
I'm sorry. That's really exciting. Please continue. Give me more information. I've been painting a lot of figures. Hopefully, we'll have some social media platform soon where I can show off said figures.
It's a skeleton archer.
Nice.
I got the bones done.
Nice. Very cool.
Need to do the bone quiver.
If you're comfortable sending me pictures now, I'd love to see it. I would really like to see it when you're done. I'm looking at the text as if you can see, like we're having a eye-to-eye thing. I'm looking at your name, so you know that I'm looking at you. But besides that, been playing a lot of Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Pauline are doing a couple of really cool things all at once.
Okay.
We're watching The Sopranos.
Okay.
We're watching all of The Simpsons. We're watching all of SpongeBob.
And Pokemon, right?
And we're watching all of Pokemon.
How far into Pokemon? Just because I like to...
Yeah, so... we're in Season 3. We're on episode, 150-something.
So, Season 3, so you're at the tail end of the Orange Islands?
No, we finished Orange
okay.
Islands. Brock is back.
Got it, okay.
We're about 2 gym battles into the Johto League.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Maybe, not battles, badges.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
That's where so I, a couple of years ago, tried to do this, and I kind of stopped right around where you are right now.
Well,
that's where, for me, the breaks in between badges got a little much.
It's a lot.
I started to not care about the individual, in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
Ash, Misty, and Brock rescue a single Pokemon from Team Rocket for a half hour. I was like...
I'm in the same exact boat. I'm getting a lot of Team Rocket fatigue.
Mm.
But here's the deal, right? As opposed to you a few years ago, I now know what the show is leading up to.
And you know that it has an ending.
That is keeping me interested. I'm sitting there playing games on my phones while they're fucking making friends and doing some bullshit. And I've told Pauline this, I am there for the battles.
Mm.
I am there to see him fucking do Pokemon. I don't need a story about friendship and how friendship is good.
Right.
And I also, for Christ's sake, I'm going to be really upset about this in 3, 4, 5 seasons, but the Team Rocket's got to show up every fucking episode.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't be in every 10-episode thing. They've got to be in every... It's old. It gets very old very quick.
Yeah, well, then you run into that thing where they're like, okay, this big event is happening, and it's Team Rocket-based, and they're going to cause actual trouble. And it's like, well, they've been causing minimal trouble every episode for the last 25 episodes since the last big Team Rocket thing, but... every so often they'll have, a Team Rocket episode, but you have to factor in that every episode Team Rocket shows up.
Right.
So when you have a Team Rocket episode, it almost is like the worst bit of filler where you're like, now I gotta fucking care about Team Rocket for a whole half hour, and he still hasn't fought, Jasmine yet.
Right. No, exactly. That's exactly where my head is, and
I've heard that and I know this is a long way away, but I've heard that the anime picks up around the 6th generation. Kalos with Xerneas and Evoltil and Fennekin and them, Greninja. I've heard that it picks up then, and it gets really good around the Alola region.
cool.
And obviously,
We're in it for the long run. We are enjoying it. It is exciting seeing the different gens and seeing it. When the show's good, it's good.
Right. Yeah. I think
there's just a lot in between.
I think the show is at its best when it's focused on battles. And I think a close second is when it's focused on Ash and maybe another character or two trying to catch a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't care about, this ecosystem is being disrupted by the addition of a new weird bear Pokemon. Ash, help us. But I am curious to see his collection grow and see his team expand. And I'm always down. Pokemon, you can tell even back then, they know that the most exciting thing is battling. I feel like between Kento and Johto, they really were like, it's basically all about battling. Let's have a vacation arc, where there's going to be some battle, sort of, and then season 2, as it were, it's season 3, but part 2 is like a weird mesh of the two, where it's like there's battling for sure, but there's also a lot of filler.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely. These are my least favorite so far.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I gonna say? I just had it. Part of what I really don't like about this season so far is they used their clearly extra money that they got for production from the first few seasons, and they're just getting into some heavy early 2000s R&B music.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, man, you guys have 5 songs, they all slap, and you can just keep playing them.
And they also have, at that point, 3 or 4 entire video games worth of music that they can just bloop.
Right.
Like the bicycle theme is the same in the games and in the show. I love the episodes with the boat sinking and the giant cursed Gengar and Jigglypuff.
Ooh. Oh. Was it Jigglypuff? There was a giant Gengar. I thought it was Alakazam with him, though. That was also cursed.
I don't know.
Or he could just be saying the one with the giant cursed Gengar, and then also the episodes with Jigglypuff might be what he's saying.
3 episodes.
Yeah. Those are all great episodes. The Jigglypuff episodes are great. Snuffle.
Snuffle?
Yeah. No. Close.
What describe the Pokemon?
It's little pink dog.
Snubble. Stuffle and Snubble.
Stuffle's the bear, right?
Stuffle is the pre-evolution of Beware, the big fucking pedo bear thing.
Yeah.
And not pedo bear, Domo, and then Snubble is
Snubble.
I love Snubble. Snubble.
Yeah. They introduced this fucking It's
the Snubble with the old woman, right?
Yeah. This is actually fucking creepy. They introduced this Snubble.
Oh, giant Jigglypuff is what subdued the giant Gengar.
Oh, yes, exactly.
What the fuck are you guys? Are you talking about Pokemon Island?
No. There was just this one. I can't even remember. It was just this one-off episode where there was a giant fucking Gengar, giant fucking Alakazam.
Oh, I definitely don't remember. Interesting.
But anyways, they introduced this Snubble in one episode.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like a heel for Team Rocket, right? He's like messing with them.
Yeah. And the end of the episode, in a very Jigglypuff fashion, he's just kind of fucking, walking into the sunset.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Then they do, most of the Orange Islands. They're going over bang, 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 bang to different islands. Now we're into the Johto episodes, and we just got, a cliffhanger of this fucking Snubble just show. I was scary. It was some like like some Slenderman bullshit. Like he's just been constantly following. Like I totally forgot, and I was like, "Is that the same one?" And it's like, "Yeah, that's the same one."
Yeah,
I was like, "That was like 30 episodes ago. What? Why did it just show up?"
Yeah.
It's just weird and funny. And I'm so excited to see what he's gonna do.
Oh yeah, he's great.
I think he's looking to kill Team Rocket. He's so determined.
I remember particularly loving the end of Johto, specifically the League battles.
Sure. Well, that's the most exciting.
Lots of cool Gary content. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you remember the character Harrison. If you watched this when you were a kid. Harrison's cool because he has. I mean, you know, it's a spoiler, but it's Pokemon's. The thing you're watching is old now. Harrison has a Blaziken.
Oh shit!
And Blaziken is obviously one of the Hoenn starters.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's Blaziken versus, Venusaur. I don't know. It's Blaziken versus like someone really hype. I was like, in for it.
That's cool.
Because I loved Blaziken as a kid, and that was my first. Like that's everyone's first. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Right.
They used to do that a lot. Lucario was hanging out for like quite a bit before Gen 4 dropped.
Right. No, that's cool. I'm excited. I'm enjoying it. There's definitely some fatigue.
Oh yeah. I'm curious to hear like more updates on this. I'm curious if and when the fatigue stops.
Yeah, same. Team Rocket's gonna make it hard, but we'll see. That is my super long ass week. How
I'm
is yours?
so glad you did spend so much time on your week because
time for news.
Hot diggity shit. I don't do. Here's what happened. Right.
I mean, we did some stuff, but we are not at liberty.
Oh
to
yeah,
say.
yeah. No, honestly, a pretty compared to the last couple weeks. Honestly, pretty eventful, but nothing really I can talk about. No, here's what happens. I wake up, I go to work. And then I spend my entire day either editing or playing Pokemon. And then around midnight, I lay down and then I don't fall asleep until fucking 6 or whatever. And that's all of it. And sometimes I order food. And when that happens, sometimes it gets all wonky. And then I have a food story. But I guess what I'm trying to say right now is that I don't. And I had a pretty, all things considered, uneventful week. As I sit here, I'm just trying to think if there was fucking anything I did or watched or thought about. Did I even have like cohesive thoughts this week? Who knows, right? I think it was just a lot of looking at pictures of Dua Lipa and thinking about how I want to be playing D&D. And writing things for D&D sessions that will happen like 9 sessions from now.
I'm also very excited for D&D.
I recently wrote an opening monologue for one of the multiverses we're going to visit in D&D, but that's not going to be for a while. It just so happened to be where my brain went. It's particularly hard to stay focused on this one because we are doing a multiverse thing, so there's going to be like a bunch of different mini little like worlds I have to build essentially. So whenever I'm going to dedicate some thought to writing D&D, more often than not, I'm like, oh, this would be cool for when we go there, and then I'm like, oh, it's 2 hours later and I didn't write the session that's in 2 days. Still.
I have a lot of news.
Okay, good. Christ, go for it. I'm done. It's news time. News.
Okay.
News. Justin Roiland?
Yeah. We could start there.
Or do we want to end there? Because is that the biggest one?
Oh, we can end there. Yeah, let's end there.
Okay.
Lisa Marie Presley died.
Oh, I did hear about this.
Yeah.
I know this is not probably a great takeaway, but I'm really glad she got to see the movie before she passed away. Because the movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, she absolutely loved it.
I think she might be the end of the Presley line, which is sad. She has kids, but they don't carry the name.
Oh, okay.
So that would
is she
sad.
the one who was married
with Michael Jackson? I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know
they have a kid together.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got some kids floating around. I think. Well, that's
Yeah.
sad. I didn't know that.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Moving on, Kanye West marries Yeezy employee. That sounds like it's ripe for a sexual harassment
Yeah, that
suit.
sounds like what happened to Ned from the Try Guys. That sounds like grooming, and that sounds like workplace. Man, Kanye West is just hitting all the.
Oh yeah, he's nailing it.
We didn't talk about it, but I'm sure you heard about his like Hitler speech, right?
Which one?
The one where he, so he was on the Alex Jones show, which like, you tell me why Alex Jones gets to still have a podcast, and then we'll both know.
I don't even know who that is, but it sounds like I'm lucky that I don't know
Alex
who that
Jones is that fucking freak who's like, they're putting chemicals in the water to make the frogs gay. He's just like a big like right wing like meme fucking like mentally disturbed, and he I forget exactly what he does. I don't want to get into it, but he faked a bunch of emails about the Sandy Hook school shooting or something.
Oh.
He like really fucked over the community that the Sandy Hook school shooting happened to, and he recently got sued by them successfully for like $250 million or
That's
some
good.
shit like that. But he has a podcast again, I guess, or something, and he had Kanye West on, and Kanye West was basically like extolling the like virtues of Hitler, and he was basically like Hitler. He basically, in so many words, said like Hitler was pretty cool, huh? Isn't it neat? All the things he said, and Alex Jones was like, and then what? You know, like he just like completely panicked. Which, like, fuck that dude also. I don't give a shit. But, like, It was just, like... And now I'm hearing that he's, like clearly, like, some shady business with an employee that he's
I'm
marrying.
calling it now. 5 years, there will be a documentary.
About what happened to him?
Yeah. How could there not be? I'm surprised it's not happening currently.
You love documentaries. What do you predict this one's going to be called? The Rise and Fall of Yeezy? That's where my head went. But I feel like there's a more clever one.
Honestly, dead serious, it depends on if he's alive or not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which in my head, that's what this is leading to. He's clearly disturbed. He has something going on. All joking aside, there's something wrong with that man. And it's getting worse, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it genuinely depends on if he's alive, whether that's natural, his own doing, or somebody else. All are on the table right now. He's pissing off a lot of people.
Oh, I know.
He's clearly unstable, and it could be there could be a deteriorating reason why.
He's been like that for a while because his old thing was like, I am Jesus Christ
I
reincarnated.
remember that.
And then he ran for president and he was like, slavery was pretty cool, huh? And people were like, what the fuck is happening? And now he's like not only
my phone's about to die.
Oh, do you want? Oh,
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I actually don't have one to offer you.
I'm
sorry. I just hate this dude. And
no.
Like
I want to talk
the
about him too.
Reasons too.
I'm gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm.
John Williams, guess what?
Uh-oh.
Cancels retirement again.
What? Why would you? Okay.
Why would you do that in your mid-90s? 'Cause he's the fucking man.
No,
Anthony.
I know, but like, I was like so like. No, you know, no harm, no foul, right? I have nothing negative to say about this human, but I was just like, that makes sense. Star Wars is over.
Right.
He's very, very old.
Yeah.
No one is like asking him to do this anymore. He clearly is still passionate about it, but he retired at an age that I was like, okay, that's, and I don't know. I don't know why.
Here's the thing with him though, he hasn't dipped. The dude keeps handing us bangers.
Oh, right. No, I know. I was waiting. I was like, what if the new Star Wars stuff sucks? And we're like, well, he's lost.
It's one of the best parts.
It was
it's
really
one of
good.
the most memorable parts.
Dude, that first song with the ship and then the Resistance theme,
yeah,
and fucking Snoke's theme, how it's like a traditional Gregorian chant.
Yeah.
It's
another
cool.
Dude kicks ass.
Yeah.
But it's been announced that Indiana Jones, which is another just everything about that movie, you'd assume it would be done, but
yeah,
that in Dial of Destiny will not be his last movies. On more
sorry,
John,
what were the words you just said?
I don't know what it is either. It's a movie that he's scoring. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
On more John Williams news, this is about 3 decades too old. Steven, I mean,
It's the next Indiana Jones movie. Indiana Jones
Oh.
and the Dial of Destiny. That's the full
I
title.
assumed they meant those two films. Oh, okay, I got it. This is 3 decades overdue, but Steven Spielberg's next project. Can you guess what it is?
Oh, I feel like, isn't he doing like fucking E.T. 2 or some shit?
No.
He's doing something dumb, right?
No, it's the exact opposite. He's doing a documentary on John Williams and his life.
Oh. I thought I heard Steven Spielberg was like doing a sequel to a thing that doesn't need a sequel.
I mean, he might, but this is the latest project.
Yeah,
announced,
yeah.
Which, like,
Dude,
yeah,
that's cool. We're gonna get a John Williams docu and a Stan Lee docu like within the same year.
that's sick.
Yeah.
The dude who has like the most Grammys or whatever the fuck deserves a fucking documentary.
Yeah. That sounds like Steven Spielberg got to a point where he was like, "What am I making? Ready Player 2? Fuck that. This guy doesn't have a documentary yet."
This guy's my longest conspirator, and nobody's done jack shit on him. Also, he's maybe the most impressive musician alive right now as far as accolades go.
Alive right now for sure.
The dude's done so many things. I made that video, and that video got pretty far.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many things. There's so many things about him that are awesome, and I can't wait to watch the documentary so people know about him. The dude
Yeah.
holds the record for Grammys.
Here's what I will say about the John Williams documentary.
It's Grammys, right? I don't know. He has some sort of
Grammys
award.
is the music one. So.
I'm pretty sure it's the Grammys.
I have a feeling that there's going to be minimal new information about John Williams for people like you who are fans of him, and I feel like this documentary is still going to be interesting as fuck.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm mostly hyped that when I tell people John Williams, Star Wars, this, that, I'm hoping this documentary, I say John Williams, and people will be like, oh, yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, he's my fucking favorite composer.
I can't believe that there even is still a conversation of like, who are you talking about exactly?
9 times out of 10 when I bring up John Williams to people, I have to explain, and either they remember who he is, or they're bullshitting me, or they just flat out say, oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay. Wow, he's done so much. And it's like, yeah, he has.
Yeah.
I love John Williams. I always have. Inside the 10-year road to release a lost Mark Hamill gamer movie. Mark Hamill made a gamer movie.
Okay.
And I guess it never got released. Oh, never mind. It debuted at Sundance in 2013. It's finally getting release.
Okay.
The end.
Cool. Did you hear the other bit of sad Mark Hamill news?
Yeah, he's not going to play the Joker anymore.
He didn't say that, but he basically said, like, every time, he said basically, I'm retired as the Joker, but obviously I've played the Joker since I announced that. Every time they ask me to play the Joker, my first question is Kevin going to be Batman?
Yeah.
And that answer is always going to be no now. So
Yeah.
it's looking like, and I don't mind. He gave us like 26 solid years of like the best voice for the Joker, no comparison. So I'm not like deeply upset about that, but like it is a sad situation. Yeah. Mason says he did Jaws, and everyone knows Jaws.
Yeah, no,
the Jaws
Jurassic
music,
Park,
yeah.
Superman, Jaws, Harry Potter.
But I see what Mason's saying. Like of those things,
yeah,
I feel
you
like
just say
Jaws is the most like that song specifically.
I always
Jaws
jump
theme.
to Star Wars, but that's the thing, right? I could say the guy who did the Harry Potter theme. I could say the guy who did the Jaws theme.
No, yeah,
the
you
Jurassic Park
can,
theme, the Star Wars theme.
That's the thing. You can. Well, that's I think you that's the point that you're trying to make is like you can have an entire conversation about how awesome John Williams is and not even mention Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah. He's an enigma. He's insane.
He's also just a cool dude.
Yeah, Johnny Baby.
Like.
Good old Johnny Baby. Wii Boy Color is a Game Boy-sized Nintendo Wii.
Oh. Okay.
The end.
Does it play discs? Surely no.
No, not. But I mean, it looks like a Game Boy. I'm going to assume no.
But then, okay. What's it do? You watch Netflix on it?
No, you play games.
How?
I don't fucking know.
It's a disc-based. I can only assume it's loaded up with all the games already on it.
Probably. I do want to talk about this. I've been having such a weird time wanting to not shit on this, but every bit of content that I see of this, I do not care for.
If it's what I might veto this conversation if it's what I think it is.
Velma?
I don't want to talk about Velma.
Not
actively.
even the record break?
I'll talk about the record break because it's absolute bullshit. Have you heard about this?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. The Dragon Ball Evolution infamous record. It has the lowest score on, I think, Rotten Tomatoes or something. Hold on. The milestone popped up on social. This is comicbook.com since I'm reading it directly. In fact, has held a steady 2.5 stars out of 10 for ages now on Reddit. Sorry, I should read this whole thing. The milestone popped up on social media just recently as fans have taken to the internet to critique Velma. From Reddit to Tumblr, no place has been safe for the ravaged comedy, and IMDb has been no exception. In fact, the site has become one of the biggest to host reviews for Velma and its user ratings, just sunk below that of Dragon Ball Evolution.
I see. What I thought you were going to bring up is that Velma is touting itself with the claim that it is the biggest premiere of any HBO and Max original animation of all time, which is true because there's fucking none left.
Sure.
It's the only one.
Right.
That's why it's the biggest release, because they fucking canceled everything else in that culling they did a few months ago.
I actually pretty funny. I'll show the camera, but I wanted to show you.
Okay. I haven't seen what good old Fred looks like.
You want to do it on that camera?
Oh yeah,
it's just not.
Obviously. Sorry, forgot about that. It's a meme. I'll show you part one. And then you got this thing, which if you can't read it, it says, "Look at how they massacred my boy," which is a quote, which is the Godfather thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen those.
I want to give this show a shot, but
why?
Because it's a Scooby-Doo thing, and it could be cool, but
Is
watched
it a
the
Scooby-Doo
trailer.
thing if Scooby-Doo's not in it?
No, well, that's the thing. I watched the trailer, and I'm like, well, they were poking fun at, people hate things because it's different, and it's like they're like fourth wall breaking, but in the universe, it's not really a fourth wall break. Velma's, on a phone call. I don't know if you watched the trailer.
I've seen this trailer, yeah.
And I was just like, haha, funny, but this... You're going hard on that side, but the content from what I've seen is not you're not wowing me.
It's not that that's my issue with that first trailer. I'm not sitting here complaining that Velma is dark-skinned. I have no issue with that whatsoever.
I don't give a shit.
What I give a shit
Frankly,
about is,
I think Mindy's doing a good job voicing her too. I think the voice is pretty okay.
Sure. Wouldn't know. My issue with the show is that it sucks. And it's a fucking terrible show, and the comedy is bad, and everyone is agreeing in that. And it's almost like they made it intentionally bad.
Well, the other thing, too, is, they're going out of their way to change. They made a joke in that trailer where they're talking about drugs with Shaggy, and he was like, and I don't care for drugs at all. Pretty much, essentially like that, and it's like, haha. It's, I don't know, it's like... Okay.
Mason brings up a good point that I was going to bring up. There is a character named Scooby. It's a female woman that Shaggy falls in love with in episode 2.
Oh. Cool. That's not a doobie-doobie-doo at all.
Yeah, this show has already been renewed for a second season because people hate-watched it so much that it actually just became popular. And I have nothing but terrible things to say about it. The end.
Yeah. I'm not going too hard on my opinions, but from what I've seen, I am not impressed. Moving on, though.
I could go much harder on my opinions. I'm actively trying not to, though.
Okay, we'll move on. Tiger King, Carol Baskin's husband, might be alive, but no one noticed.
Okay, I've never seen... Isn't he in jail? Isn't Tiger King...
He's
is that
in
not
jail.
His husband?
Carol,
her husband?
No,
oh.
no. Her husband... in the 80s went missing.
Oh, okay.
Everybody assumed she killed him.
Oh, okay. And he's...
It sounds like he might be alive.
Okay, cool.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
I'm sure you know about this one.
I did hear about this.
Being charged with involuntary manslaughter in Rush shooting. Thoughts?
Here's my thoughts. Because when this news first broke, Kelsey and I were talking about it, and she was explaining to me all the laws and rules about holding, handling, like live weaponry on ballistic weaponry on set of film studios. And my mom said a very, very salient point, which is, why is there ever a loaded gun on set with real bullets? I want to take it a step further. Why are we ever at all, even if it's blanks, shooting a gun? Just do it with CGI. If it's that dangerous that it can kill people, I don't give a shit. If you're going to shoot a gun, make a hyper-realistic plastic gun that doesn't shoot anything, and do the rest of it with computer graphic imaging.
That part I agree with you. So I actually watched a thing on this when it initially happened, because I wanted to know how do real guns get on movie sets and how are they handled. They do sometimes use real guns. They utilize blanks.
Mm-hmm.
The blanks are specially made for Hollywood. They rattle when you move them. There is something in there to let you know this is a blank bullet.
Okay.
How live ammunition got on the set is where the question falls. Because live ammunition should have been nowhere on the set. Now, there is somebody responsible for the handling of that gun, and it's not Alec Baldwin, which...
But he's the one who shot it. The trigger.
He's the one who shot it, and I guess once the gun is in his hand, it's his responsibility to know if you know.
And beyond that, he literally murdered a person.
No, he did. He had zero intent behind it. Whoever put the bullet in the gun.
Right.
I feel like even if you still get Alec Baldwin on it, they should be held responsible to some degree. They're the one who should know if the bullet's fucking live or not, as they're putting it. Alec Baldwin's going to assume they did their fucking job. And I can get that. I'm not saying the guy's holding a real gun. If you're holding a real gun, take some responsibility and be very cautious with what you're, with how you're utilizing it. Know 1,000% that what you're holding is 1,000% not going to hurt anybody.
Right.
But the person who handed him that gun and handled it should also be held responsible.
So this story has been ongoing for, I think, like a few years at this point, at least a full year. I forget exactly what happened, because the person he killed was not like his scene partner. It was just like a sound editor or
more
something,
or less.
right?
No, it was the director, I'm pretty sure.
The director? No, I think it was someone like a makeup artist or a sound person or something.
Okay.
It was someone who like wasn't supposed to be shot at with a gun in a scene.
Well, no, they were, because they were looking at the camera. I'm pretty sure it was somebody who was looking at the shot. It might have been the camera person, frankly.
No. I don't think they were filming. I think it was literally like someone handed him a gun, he's inspecting it, it goes off.
No, it was a scene. He was shooting at the camera.
Okay.
I watched it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't... It was so long ago, I can't fucking remember. But he shot, and she got hit because they were doing a scene.
Oh, okay. Then I was just told wrong.
He wasn't fucking around. Like. That's the point that I'm getting at, is he wasn't fucking around with a gun. He was doing the scene.
I was under the impression he was, as you put it, fucking around with a gun.
No, that's a totally different story altogether.
He lifted a gun to a person he was supposed to lift a gun to, fired it, and they died. They weren't supposed to.
Yeah. That's my understanding of how it went down, which when that's told to me, he did everything he was supposed to, except it actually happened.
Right.
So you hold whoever made it actually happen responsible.
Then in that case, this is the exact same situation that happened with Brandon Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
Because and I feel like back then it was a question of like, well, it obviously wasn't supposed to be loaded. Who tried to kill Brandon Lee? Like, now we have a murder case, you know? Yeah, I don't know. That's, So sorry, taking it back to what the news actually was. What was the new development?
He's charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Does actor Alec Baldwin suffer jail time because of that?
Most likely, if he's convicted. But my initial thought, my immediate thought is, he didn't load the fucking gun.
No.
As far as he should have been concerned, he was on a professional soundstage doing his fucking job, and he expected the guy who held the gun before him to do his job properly.
Yeah.
Hers, actually, I think, if I remember the thing properly. But
it sounds to me like an easy and open shut case. Whoever loaded the gun or whoever like purchased the bullets had it out for this director, and they're trying to frame it on Alec Baldwin. But maybe that's just my everything has to be a story brain.
The big question comes down to what were live bullets doing on the sound set.
Oh well, yeah.
I think she was awful tragedy. I don't think anybody targeted her specifically. It really sounds like, why the fuck were these bullets here? And I have a feeling whoever put the bullets there on set, it's almost like a fucking Joker situation. They were just causing chaos. Chaos for the sake of chaos.
Okay.
I cannot understand, because the thought that bullet, because they're in, like, you know, a bin and there's hundreds of them. They
What
couldn't,
are?
the bullets.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't have automatically known that they're going to use that precise bullet in this precise scene, that he's going to shoot her unless the guy loading them knew what bullet it was.
Now we're getting into some Ransom changed the labels on the medicine Knives Out.
Right.
Well,
that's
the like
thing.
You knew which one was the right one, and
either the guy who loaded the gun wanted to kill somebody on that set, or it was a complete accident and it was chaos. Not an accident. Somebody put the bullets there intentionally.
And was just like, someone will die, tee-hee.
Or, yeah.
I'm less... I believe that less. I feel like my mind immediately goes to this was planned and someone... I just don't understand why the story is, here's Alec Baldwin's punishment and not, here's 9 different people's punishment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying is, yeah, he pulled the trigger. He didn't load the gun.
Like, I know that I know the name Alec Baldwin. I would also like to know the names of the people responsible and what their punishment is as well.
Right. If any. Because as far as the public knows right now, nobody except him is responsible.
Right.
Or being held responsible, and that's just frankly not true.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, not 100% responsible. I will go back around and say he did quite literally murder a person.
If you're holding a gun, and it's a real gun, you make sure you're not going to hurt anybody with it.
Right.
And again, the man's been in Hollywood for 40-plus years. I think he gets handed a gun these days, he's going to assume whoever handed it to him did their job right.
Right. Yeah,
but you can't get that lackadaisical with it.
This is my 9th gun this season.
Right, exactly. But then it comes back to... Then we come all the way back around to, why can't there just be high-quality prop guns? You can make prop everything else.
And, like, you just
Well,
do
you can even have the toy ammo and whatnot, but if you put a real bullet in it, it's not going to do jack shit because it's not an actual functioning gun.
Yeah, I don't know why we need to be filming with a real gun. Why can't it be a prop? Like, there's so many...
You can make a prop gun look exactly the same.
There's so many questions that... There's so many different ways that I want to ask, why is there a real gun on set?
Right.
Why can't it be a prop gun? Why does it fire anything?
You should watch this thing.
Why does it... Why can't it just be CGI? What thing? Is there a documentary about this already?
It was one of those, like... ABC is going to do an hour and a half thing about and it came out like the week that happened. Okay. And they do an interview with the person who handles the gun, the person who checks the gun, and they're like, this is all the things, and like, it fucking happened. You should check it out. It's been so long since I've watched that, and I didn't think we were going to get new news on this, so I didn't.
Well, I knew we would eventually get new news. I didn't know we were going to get, like, yeah, and it turns out it was his fault the whole time or whatever, but, you know.
I think I'm going to go back and watch that. Maybe once more news comes out, we can have a more educated or at least more up-to-date conversation about it.
I don't know if more news is going to happen.
Well, once the trial starts.
Oh, there hasn't been a trial yet?
No, he just got
Then how was he charged?
He was charged. He wasn't convicted. They charged him. They said, you did this.
Oh.
Come with us. You did this.
See.
We're going to do a trial.
And now that we've said those words, there's going to be an official trial.
Yeah.
And that will end with...
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. You skipped all the other shit.
Listen, man. I'm just hungry, and I'm forgetting
I'm
the
also
intricacies
hungry.
of the American legal system. So forgive me.
No, that's fine.
But did we have more? Because we didn't talk about Justin Roiland. But
That's what I was gonna say. Let's talk about how he beat up his wife. I don't even know. He beat up somebody.
The victim is remaining completely anonymous.
Oh shit. So okay, that's what I thought. Somebody told me it was domestic, which typically means it's your significant other. I thought it was just he beat somebody up, and it sounds like that's the situation.
No, it's domestic.
Supposedly
it's
beat somebody
domestic
up.
violence because it's been confirmed that it was someone he was seeing romantically.
Oh,
but they are
interesting.
remaining
Okay.
anonymous.
I don't blame him. Why would you not?
I don't think Justin Roiland has a significant other. I think he's been like a bachelor this whole time.
Also,
and one of the people he beat up is coming clean about it.
I was pretty loosey-goosey. We've been pretty loosey-goosey with that. He's been charged with hitting somebody. We can't say he hit somebody yet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
A magical word that impugns us of
But
all
this is a guy.
rights.
This is a guy who's had a lot of. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but he's the one who's had a lot of alcohol problems.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he's the guy who voices them. Rick and Morty,
Yeah,
right?
he voices Rick, Morty, and others. It's like Seth MacFarlane. And there's been countless stories about the reason Rick and Morty season whatever is delayed because of his rampant alcoholism. But at the same time, the last 2 or 3 years or whatever has seen him have his creative fingers in a lot of different projects. He has a new video game last year. A new more AAA more high profile video game called High on Life released a couple months ago. Rick and Morty's back in a major way, not just the second half of the 6th season or whatever, but it's consistently coming out now. So he's
got
been,
a good contract with Adult Swim.
Yeah, he's been in the public eye a lot more, I feel like. And here's the thing, and here's the depressing real thing about this. When I heard this, I was not surprised.
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting here I bet Justin Roiland's a serial beat up a prostitute person, But I heard that news, I was like, that seems like something that guy would do. It sounds like that guy's a rough customer.
Yeah, that's I mean, knowing the history that he's had and assuming that he hasn't changed the way he acts, the way he handles business, yeah, that's a side effect of living life like that. You're not always in your right mind, and you might do stupid stuff.
And when you do,
didn't he held her hostage? That part I do not know anything about.
Yeah, the situation is still developing insofar that we're not getting new information, but we're essentially waiting allegedly. We're waiting for a trial to happen. Essentially what happened was behind closed doors these allegations were made a year and a half ago, and now they're being made public because they're being taken to trial. And no matter how public this trial how public a forum this trial will take, the victim is choosing to remain completely anonymous, which people like us can only respond by respecting that. And taking it all the way to the other end of this whole thing, this could very well mean the end of all these things that he's in. If Rick and Morty gets canceled because of this, I wouldn't be surprised. But if Rick and Morty continues on without him, maybe that won't be as popular. But I wouldn't be surprised by that either. You're Adult Swim, and you just lost Justin Roiland. You don't want to lose Rick and Morty, So if it can.
But what do you do? I would suspect a Rick and Morty spin-off where neither of them are in it.
Yeah, make it all about Beth.
Yeah.
Or that's the mom, right?
Yeah, that's actually a smart call.
Yeah, make it all about Beth and Summer, and have Jerry in every episode rather than every few episode comic relief. I guess that's a weird thing to say because it's a comedy, so everyone is making jokes. But he's the butt of many jokes. Make him that every episode.
Right.
I would watch that. No, it sucks because High on Life is doing great. Squanch Games, that's what they're called, They're at an all-time high on production. Rick and Morty's popping off. This new season's great. And it's about to really suck if he is guilty of everything he's guilty of, because his team is adamant that he's not guilty.
Oh, interesting.
Because the reason that this is going to trial is because he pleaded not guilty a year and a half ago, And now we're going to court to be like, are you not guilty, or come on?
Interesting. I mean, I handed it to them that they did what Metalocalypse couldn't do.
Oh, officially, we got it seems like Mason Googled it, charged with false imprisonment.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I just,
in addition to the domestic violence.
Right, yeah.
Charge.
This guy just did what Metalocalypse couldn't do.
Right.
He managed to have a very shitty track record of getting products in for Adult Swim when they wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
His show rose above that. He said, "You're not going to cancel us. We know that it's not going to happen. We're keeping the lights on in this place right now." And I was really like, because they just made a contract. Rick and Morty isn't going to end till blank.
Right. Yeah, it was like season 3, right? And they signed like a 7 more season contract or something like that.
Yeah, and then that would be it. And he even said we're going to be done after that. But
which is a bold claim as someone in the adult animation industry is, because Simpsons and Family Guy will never end, I guess, and they just keep going and going and going.
Right.
So to be like, 10 seasons were done. 10 is a lot, but that's still ooh, interesting. A different take on adult animation. We're going to tell a story, and then we're going to tell that entire story, and then we're going to leave.
I cannot get over... I don't follow South Park anymore, but when I was watching Adult Swim and shit like that, Family Guy is still going on.
Family Guy, American Dad, Simpsons, South Park, they're all still going. But South Park's trying to cannibalize itself, right?
Well, I can't tell if it was a joke or not, but before a show started or something like that, it was just their whole slogan was #cancel South Park.
Yeah, you said that there was shirts. That was their big thing.
Yeah, they were all about #cancel South Park, and I can't tell now that we're 5 years later and they're still making South Park if that was a joke or not. But
I'm wondering if that was a huge long-term jab at cancel culture, or if Trey Parker and Matt Stone are let us do something else for the love of God.
It was kind of before cancel. I would be more apt to believe it was the latter.
Oh, okay.
Because it was kind of before a lot of that.
Okay.
The term cancel wasn't quite as popular in that sense.
Yeah.
When they say cancel South Park, they meant can we stop making South Park?
That's funny, but I also sympathize with them. It sounds like you're stuck in a shitty Kesha contract that you can't find your way out of. And you don't want to make South Park anymore.
But Rick and Morty, on the other hand, they got exactly what they wanted from a company that's notorious for canceling shows just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
At their peak of success, they'll just be like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah. I mean, you bring it up all the time because you're the only person I know who likes this show, but literally they were like, hey, Metalocalypse, you have to go right, and they were like, well, we kind of wanted to go left. They're like, then you're fucking gone.
Yeah.
Then you're gone.
Yeah, they for one reason or another, the creator in 8 years made 3 or 4 seasons of Metalocalypse. He came back and he was like, I'm ready for 4, and they were like, you can either do 4 or a musical, but either way you're fucking done. And he did a musical.
Yeah.
It was probably the most popular thing they ever made, and then he was like, all right, that was really good. 5th season, or season 4, and they were like, no, also we own the rights to this, because he used to perform out as Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
They were like, we own the rights to this. You can't do anything with it. Whatever you want to do, you can't do it, and you won't do it.
And then, legally speaking, in my opinion, all that's fine so far. Where they took it too far for me, and I know you agree with this, is when they use their shitty, not funny title cards to actively shit on Metalocalypse
Oh,
fans.
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that one you were talking about. It was like, you want more Metalocalypse? Well, too bad, or something
Oh,
some
you
shit
saw?
like that.
Yeah. No, that and they know. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Because it's I've never seen a fucking frame of this show. I don't think that shit's funny. when you do that.
No, it's
when
not.
you when you
it's
alienate
mean
an entire fan base like that.
that you own the rights to and do nothing with.
Right. That's the
Don't
other
even
thing.
let the creator do
That's
anything.
the other
with
thing.
it.
You're shitting on the with that. I don't even remember if that was the wording, but when you're saying, "Do you want Metalocalypse?" Well, tough. Get over it. You're not only alienating the creator of the original show, you're alienating the fans of the old show, and you're glossing over the fact that you own the rights to this. You're just sitting on it and not doing anything with it, and you know that this little blurb about Metalocalypse is a tacit endorsement that you know that you're not doing anything with the license.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way you thought that was funny. You did that just to piss people off because you're Adult Swim and you're a little bit kooky and you can do whatever you want.
Right. But I just hope they don't pull that nonsense. Because, I mean, I can acknowledge, obviously, that Rick and Morty way more commercially successful than Metalocalypse. So, obviously, they're going to allow him a bit more...
leniency.
Yeah.
But
slack
not if he's convicted for domestic violence. You can only assume.
Yeah, I mean...
Because you gotta think about Rick and Morty specifically. There's two creators.
Mm-hmm.
One is Justin Roiland, who, as far as I can tell, is a walking train wreck, and the other one is Dan Harmon, who, from what I can tell, is a super decent guy that everyone likes working with. So if he's there in the meeting, I know, he sucks. We would like to do more Rick and Morty. Here's how. I think Adult Swim would be more apt to be like, okay, Dan Harmon, what do you got?
Yeah.
Because we also like making money off Rick and Morty.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I bring up Metalocalypse to acknowledge.
No, it's a perfect
their
example.
track
yeah.
record.
It's you have to when talking about this. Yeah. Lots of negative news, but a lot that we had a lot to say about. So thank you for being here. Sorry, no segment on either of the podcasts, but we just had a
busy week,
rip roaring, fiddling week of news to talk about. Plus we didn't have a game podcast or a regular podcast last week, so
right for 2 weeks.
So we had some build up. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.